I think this is a lesson for leaders I want you to talk about is the more influence you're given, the more platform you have, the more people in your circle that you know are looking to you, the deeper we have to be like growing our roots.
Yeah.
And you know, you're a guy who's rooted. Like there's a sense for you of community, and talk about some of that tension though. You know, especially as you get more, how do you make sure you're managing it well? Because for so many 20-somethings, they're like, oh, I'll just do whatever I want. You know, and
Yeah.
is more stewardship, the more responsibility, and you're getting a lot more responsibility. So how are you dealing with that?
I do think influence really affects your friendships, and if you're not intentional, you lose a lot of your friendships as your platform grows. Maybe your friends feel awkward. Maybe you don't. You're not used to being treated like just one of the guys, and I think you lose the sense of groundedness. And you know, why I believe in the local church, amongst many things, is genuine, authentic friendships for a lifetime, no matter how your influence ebbs and flows. One of the coolest things I heard the Duck Dynasty guys say the other day, who I just think are phenomenal guys.
You're hanging out with the Doug Dynasty
And,
guys the other day?
Well, no, because of a friend of mine, I got to hang out with them. So I mean, I've gotten to know them, but
Yeah.
yeah, that came out like a name drop. But
Oh, yeah.
anyways,
No, I love it.
They said, you know, we haven't got too caught up with the fame because we know it's temporary. And you know, some would say, well, no, Duck
That's pretty
Dynasty's
wise.
that's so wise.
Yeah.
Because no matter who you are, there's gonna come a day
When you're not the
you're
thing.
not the guy. You're not the best and the latest and the greatest. And so for me, like, you know, applying maybe the Duck Dynasty and just in general is really having genuine, authentic friends and being intentional that no matter how much influence or platform you get, you're going to keep these friendships healthy, normal. You're going to stay vulnerable. You know, it's easy, not easy. It's never really easy to be vulnerable. But when there's not a lot at stake, sometimes it can be a little bit easier.
Yes.
But the more your influence grows and the people's perception affects you, and people's perception of you is you're this and you're that and you're this, and you hear that and you're like, well, I need to be this, that, and this. And so if I tell my friend that I'm thinking this, or I'm struggling with this, or I'm having issues, or I haven't prayed in days, and I haven't really read my Bible anymore, and I'm having these lustful thoughts, and you know, if I break that to them, well, I can't anymore because, and so just all along the way, having really close friendships. And I just found like pastors, maybe this is true of a lot of different people who have a platform, but they're really lonely. And I do wonder sometimes if that's not always because of what people have done to them, but what they've allowed and not being intentional with friendships and relationships. And so, my goodness, I cannot thank my friends enough. I mean, real, genuine, authentic friends who will call me and challenge me and encourage me and vice versa. And so, you know, that's not very insightful, but it's
No,
honest.
it is. Like that, but in that idea of the people in your life who know you, who know the good and the
real you.
bad,
That's right.
who don't care what you do, they just know who you are, and
Totally.
you know, like those are the people that because the more you gain, like more people are calling, going, hey buddy, what's going on? Like,
Totally.
you know, let's get together, and that's not, you know, it's not an issue that every leader wrestles with, but every leader, I think, has to deal with that sense of community is a definition of your identity, and always going back to that sense of, well, who knows you best? You know, who are those people? For you, like, that's City Church Seattle, but it's also friends in a lot of places that you're tied into from a relational network.
And being a pastor, but always having a pastor, having a father.
Yeah.
Many teachers and preachers, but not a lot of fathers. And so when you find a father that, obviously my dad was the best father and a great pastor in my life. But him passing immediately, in fact, before he passed, I was intentional to say, I need a dad. Like, I need a spiritual father. That's a big deal to me. I need someone who's going to call me out or call good stuff out of me, encourage me. And Pastor Brian Houston has really been a true father. And So I can't overestimate that enough. I do think pastors need pastors.